Howdy, Croven here for the Drone Bay, and we are continuing our exploration of Capsuleer Day 21, specifically the combat filaments. And today we are going to be looking at the Tier 3 combat filament for the event site, and that is the Disastrous Gamma Filament. And we're going to be using a Caracal for that. These require T1 cruisers, and only specific T1 cruisers. So the Caracal is on that list, and because it is a gamma filament, if you're not familiar with the Abyss, what the gamma filament does is it reduces your explosive resist, but gives you additional shield hit points. So we are fit with a passive tank. And this is a slightly adapted version of the fit that Erstschlag was using on his stream. He had a second shield power relay. I've swapped that for a damage control. Because full disclosure, and maybe I'm including that footage here as well, I've died trying this once. And part of that is I got the drifter room, and there were a bunch of neutralizing frigates in there, which was a bad time. So I've learned a few things that hopefully will let us survive this time, and one of them is by reducing the capacitor penalty for the second shield power relay, I sacrifice a little bit of EHP by putting on the damage control, but I should be able to use my Microwarpdrive a little bit more, which should let me get the boss down faster, which was part of my problem last time. The other thing I did was I was not paying enough attention to my drones, and the frigates in these rooms can hurt a lot. So hopefully by being more judicious with my drones and using them to decoy the frigates sometimes and get the frigates down faster, we should be able to hopefully get out of here. So let's take a look at the fit. 5 heavy assault missile launcher 2s. We're going to start with Caldari Navy Nova loaded. There's a couple reasons for that. One is to kill the initial spawn of frigates. The other is to go after the 4 sentry towers that are going to be putting out a lot of damage early on. Got an ancillary... For rigs, we have an ancillary current router because there's a lot of very power grid intensive modules on here. We have a medium core defense field extender 2, a couple of those, 3 Republic Fleet large shield extenders, a shield recharger, a compact Microwarpdrive, power diagnostic system 2, shield power relay 2, damage control 2, and a ballistic control system 2. So as you can see, this thing is not cap stable with the Microwarpdrive on, so we're going to be pulsing that to get around. We're also going to be playing a little bit with the boundary rules in this Abyss. So if you're used to the normal Abyss, whenever you go outside of the boundary, you start taking damage. It hurts your ship. This is more like what I understand the Doctor Who event was. I didn't play the Doctor Who event, but in this one, if you boundary violate, if you go outside, it immediately teleports you back to the other side, Pac-Man style. So that's going to be very useful, especially early on when we go after the sentry turrets. Worth noting, the boss will also do that. That was part of the problem I had last time, was I had the boss boundary violate on me. So, and it took me a minute to get up to the boundary and catch up with him, which meant more frigate spawns. Honestly, the boss himself, at least in the drifter room, I don't know if there's, in the others, there's drifters and Triglavians. In this one, I got the drifter, and his damage wasn't that bad. It was when the frigates came on too and started neuting so that I couldn't keep up with the boss. So yeah, the frigates need to go down immediately, especially there's a wave a little bit later on where you get a bunch of them, and that's a real problem. So let's have a look here, and let's get ready to go. Something else that I should mention as far as the fitting goes, we do have a 2% grid implant in here. Like I said, this thing is very, very grid hungry. So if you're new to running these, first of all, I would not recommend jumping straight into Tier 3. This one's pretty tough. Tier 1 and Tier 2 are very easily doable. Tier 1 I did in a rapid light Caracal. There are none of the sentry turrets in there to deal with, so you can just kind of get straight on to dealing with the frigates and the battleship. Tier 2, I've actually got a video up running that in a Vexor and had absolutely no problems with that. So now we're going to try the Tier 3. To activate these filaments, either for the relic sites or the combat sites, you do need to have your safety setting to yellow or red. So we've done that. And then, yeah, you can kind of do them anywhere. We're in Jita. So, all right. With all that said, let's do it. Bump ourselves a little bit of movement here. What you need to do to be able to activate the filament, double check that I've got Caldari Navy loaded. I do. So let's get it. This fit costs a couple $100 all in. So we'll see what we get out of here. All right. First things first. Okay, so we have a Leshak this time who will web. Ooh, that's good. We got a speed cloud there. Okay. So we're going to start off. These guys target paint. They do not newt. So this might be significantly easier than the other one I tried. So we are fully passively tanked here. Get a little bit, maybe try a little bit of transversal here. Yeah, see, those guys are already too far away. The newting in the other room was just brutal. And that's really what did me in. Get a couple volleys off there. That should be enough. Yes, indeed. Couple volleys there. All right, we're going to hit the Microwarpdrive. And we are going across. We've already popped out too far away. It's all right. We got time to kill the frigates then. Go ahead and launch drones. Turn the Microwarpdrive off. So these turrets are doing a big chunk of the damage here, along with the frigates. Pull drones. And we'll start moving back toward the boss man here. Where is he? He's that way. Okay. Sorry. Zoom out a little bit so we don't get that constant noise of the disintegrator. Yeah, so a lot more frigates spawn in the Trig version, apparently. Should be able to one volley that. We're not quite to peak recharge here. And we've got yellow boxes from some of the frigs, which means they're targeting our drones. We'll just keep an eye on that. Gosh, and here come more. I haven't even gotten a start on the boss yet. Let's get an orbit set up on this Leshak. So the Drifter wanted to get in close and just hammer on him. This one, he's webbing me. I'm just going to cut down my transversal. Drones are doing okay. We're going to go ahead and switch the drones targets there. And we're getting close to peak shield recharge. What's really going to make the difference, yeah, I have a feeling this room is just straight up easier. Let's go ahead and put the drones on the Leshak. Probably should have done that the other way around, use the missiles on the Leshak. load some rage. Pulse the Microwarpdrive. Alright, let's let him have it. So it's interesting, there are a couple of Edencom boxes in here. In other sites, I'd only ever seen one. But those Edencom boxes can have some really nice loot in there. How's our tank doing? Yep, so we're hovering right there at the recharge point. See if boosting my transversal helps at all. It does. So we're going to go ahead and back that orbit up a little bit. Yeah, because we just got out of peak recharge. So we're going to get away from him a little bit, because his web effectiveness is modified by distance, so... Yeah, speed up here. Yeah, those hits are hitting a little bit less now. Oh, we do not want to boundary violate right now. So let's... Actually, maybe we do. Let's give ourselves a minute to recharge these shields. Reload our guns. Let the drones keep working on him. So yeah, playing with the boundaries in here it can be pretty important, as it turns out. Go ahead and make sure we get up past peak shield recharge, because yeah, he was doing some damage there. And then I don't know if I mentioned this before, but timing wise, let's go. Caldari Navy missiles, because the frigates are back. Well, they're micro-warp driving. I'm a little curious if... Yeah, it's not going to quite one-shot them. Let's get the drones involved again. And, okay. Shields are back above peak recharge. All is well. Moment. I'm gonna clip that speed cloud. Not quite. That's okay though. So now I'm wondering if we set our orbit. Oh, there's the speed cloud. Set our orbit at 20. Get rage missiles loaded. Okay, here we go. Get back on him here. Oh, and I didn't claim my reward for killing a drone. Such a satisfying. Oh, see, there you go. Damage dealt to battleships. Glad I did that while I was in here. What's his speed? I have my overview's a little funky. 397. So yeah, he's faster than us when we're not running this. Or when we're not in a speed cloud. Turn that off. And now we just pound on him till more frigates show up. I mean, time-wise, we're fine. Survival is the bigger issue here. I mean, we've still got, what, almost more than 20 minutes. So, Time isn't the problem. Tanking is. But that's doing fine for now as well. Give the Microwarpdrive another pulse. Let's get some thumbnail footage here. Pulse the microwarp. Oh, we're boundary violating. Oops. See, that's what happens when you turn your overview off. All right. Well, could actually be fine. Oh, that speed cloud's behind him. All right. Well, let's burn back toward him. Speed cloud right next to the conduit. So maybe we'll hit that up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this should get us there quickly. Change the orbit distance there. Oh, and it is frigate time. Let's utilize these speed clouds to our advantage here. Get drones on things. So yeah, these kind of tan-colored clouds go fast, purple clouds go slow. He's not even webbing us right now. So we might be able to go ahead and re-establish that orbit. All right. Let's get our rage missiles going again. While the drones deal with that last frigate. Yeah, being in this speed cloud helps a lot. And this may be it for old Mr. Lashak. Let's get. So the tachyon cloud, the speed cloud, does increase your sig radius. Ooh, that was a big hit. But I think the speed differential is substantial enough that it's absolutely worth it. Try to keep that transversal velocity up here. That's why we're running the Microwarpdrive, because he is not long for this world, hopefully. Now, once the battleship's dead, the conduit will open. You can leave. I'm going to go grab those other loot boxes, and frigates will potentially keep spawning. So, something else to keep in mind. Yeah, all right. We did it, boys. So, let's scoop those drones. Go grab the loot, see what we got. And right on cue. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's another tier 3 blueprint BPC. So if you're not familiar with how these work, the filaments, you get the tier 1 BPCs from the K-Space sites. You get the tier 2 BPCs from the tier 1 sites. So there's, it's kind of a progression. When we get there, some boosters and a skin. Oh, come on. I wasn't paying attention to my speed cloud there. Here we go. Let's burn over to that one. So, okay, capacitor booster 3, that's probably worth a fair bit. A lot of this stuff is valued at 0, just because of the way the market refreshes stuff. It's worth significantly more. Okay, speed cloud again. Let's go. So yeah, you can see we're going faster than we were with our Microwarpdrive on just by hitting that speed cloud. Let's see what's in this other Edencom box. Usually good stuff in here. Caracal skin. Well, that one's not as good. All right, well, still pretty good haul here, so let's head home. Reload the missiles. And let's go ahead and engage that Microwarpdrive. So, yeah, even with a couple mistakes there, the accidental boundary violation as well as the ones we did on purpose, we did okay on time here. And again, so in the Leshak room, the little guys target paint you. And they do a decent amount of damage, as you can see here. The real problem is in the Drifter room. In the Drifter room, yikes. The frigates in the Drifter room will nuke you. And you saw how important using the Microwarpdrive was to both get around and keep up transversal at times. So, yeah, not having that is a problem. That's why I replaced one of the shield power relays with a damage control to help my cap recharge a little bit faster when the frig waves die. So, anyway, we'll head back to station, see what we got. So we are back in G244, and let's have a look at what we pulled in. Go ahead and open our item hanger, grab everything but the missiles. So the appraised value of this is 23 million. Not great considering the cost of these tier 3 filaments, which I think are about 90 as of recording this on May 1st. So, but let's scroll down, see what we got. So these guys, like I said, no estimated value. However, if we take a little gander at the market, those are 5 million apiece, and we got 14 of them. So, that's what, almost 70 million, 65 probably all told, and the buy orders are at 2.5, and these are still in demand. So the prices on event loot goes down as the event goes on for the most part because people, there's more access to it, that sort of thing. These are a little bit less valuable. But let's see, the trig encrypted data, that's about 100K. That's red loot. Just like in other things, the Caracal Blue Force skin. Oh, let's see, we're flying a Caracal. Do we like that better than Steel Cardinal? That's pretty sexy. I might keep that. And then the boosters, while they are temporary, and these are dropping in value over time, which is to be expected, still not bad. 20 mil for that one. Got a Pyrolancia dose. Armor booster, this one was really valuable earlier. Yeah, so still about 20. There's some here that are probably selling decently well, even if they're not as valuable, because they're good for running the relic sites. So yeah, good amount of loot there. I'm not disappointed about that at all, particularly because let's see, that blueprint's worth about 10 million, so probably not my best run. And then those EdenCom boxes always have one of these in there. I like loot boxes, especially when they're free. Let's see what we got. Women's Capsuleer Day hoodie. I don't know much about the whole clothing thing, so I'll probably run this one a little bit more. I'm curious to see if this change in the fit will affect how well I can do the drifter room, because that was the one that gave me big problems in the past. So hopefully you found this useful. Again, the fit was not originally my own. I did make a minor modification to it that I think probably helped, but it wasn't same circumstances, so I can't say for sure how much of a difference it made. So, yeah, if you liked the video, give it a like and a subscribe. This channel is brand new. It is the resurrection of the Drone Bay, which was an EVE Online podcast in the way back. We're talking 15 plus years ago, the podcast started. But I've returned to the game fairly recently and hope to continue to provide you some content. And as we did with the old podcast, have some co-hosts on. I've already got one lined up, so hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff coming out to you soon. Until next time, thanks for watching. Good hunting.